How
Know
is it an
your enemy.
agreement if you
Know
don't
what
agree
these
with it?
people or beings are. They are not nice. They will lie. They will do whatever it takes to steal your children and turn them against you in order to adopt them out to fill a quota. It is about making money.
Yeah, well,
Okay?
you know, he's got one thing right on the button. They want to break the bond with the children. I still really haven't come to grips with why they're doing this. You know, I have a lot of theories and um, a lot of things I think about, you know, of course, but but to see it happen to family after family after family after family after family after family after
And
family
people never
after
believe us
family.
at first, do they? I tell people, like a lot of people talk to us about child protection. We get emails, we get phone
What happened to
calls.
respect thy parents?
Listen, then, in certain cases we'll say, well, I've heard, you know, we tell them what our experience with the ministry has been and what other people's experience with the ministry is, and oh no, I'm getting my child back on this such and such a date, we're going to court. Then we get a phone call a year later, oh my God, exactly what you said might happen actually happened. And then by then it's too late to say no, I'm not going to sign that consent, or
You already did it.
too late, you did it, even though, because a lot of people think, and my sister said this to me, I said, do you think I'm a bad mom? And she said, well, I think that the ministry does what they have to do. And I said, if the ministry took your child away, what would you do? She said, I would do whatever they told me to get my children back. Oh, really? And I didn't? I jumped over every fucking hoop that they put me through, and I still don't have my goddamn kids. And I did more than that. I jumped through all their damn hoops. I did things that I shouldn't have had to do. I humiliated myself even though I was innocent. I've faced so much crap because of them. For the sake of just being a part of my children's life, I just shut up and thought, I'm just going to take this up the ass for now so that I can be with my kids in the long run. And what good did it do me? None. I still don't have them, and if it keeps going this way, I'm never going to have them.
Learn from other people's mistakes. We all are going through it. We're all having the same devastating things happen to us. And if you're just starting, nobody wants to hear it. They want to think, oh, well, I'm innocent. There's nothing. I'm the exception. But you're not. You're fucked. Life is over as you know it is fucked. That's it. It may take you a year or two to finally dawn on you, and by then you're either going to be hitting the bottle, hitting the pills, or blowing your fucking brains out, because
But
that's
do the
it's
research
over.
as well. I mean, all you have to do is Google, and you can find
hundreds of stories,
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. But why don't you start writing us and letting us put your stories on the website?
On our websites.
Yeah.
No.
And we'll try to.
I'd really like you to edit out all the swearing that I did, but you get so angry when you're talking about your own children being apprehended that it's an unbelievable. All day long I have anxiety in the pit of my stomach because I can't stop thinking about it, because why should I? And so many people say to me, oh, when they're older they'll know that you love them.
I get that too.
Fuck you.
And
I
like
don't
they're gonna
want
come
to
back
wait
to you
until
one
my child
day.
is 30.
They have no idea.
Especially when the allegations made against me were not true. Why should I sit on my ass and watch my children be emotionally abused day after day, and allow my relationship with them to be torn apart, and watch my kids grow up to be, people I don't even know? Why should I let that happen because the government wanted to make a few bucks off taking my kids away and putting them in the wrong home?
But it's not the government, it's the social workers. It's the social workers who...
Social workers are part of the government.
Oh, and the government has nothing to do with this, because I've talked to everybody all the way up to the deputy minister, and I have got, very little response. I've got no help. I still don't have a relationship with my children, and they're the ones that put my kids where they're at, knowing that there was physical abuse before they put them there.
Social workers are part of MCFD.
Actually, it was the deputy minister.
Government body.
It was the deputy minister who told Colleen that, in her experience, children will always seek out the parent. Okay, well that's fine, and the deputy minister was, in both of our opinions, a very humanitarian-like person.
She was reasonable.
She was reasonable, and I feel that yes, she was
I'm not
honest
saying
when she
anything
was
bad
saying
about her.
that she was really concerned about her case, because she doesn't hear many people from the community. She
Doesn't meet with the public.
She doesn't meet with the public. So
Well,
when
then
we
she
sat down
should
and
look at all these videos
well,
and wake up.
she definitely sat down.
She knows,
and
she's aware that there's a problem, obviously, with the child protection system, because when I tried to speak about it with her, she said, we're not going to solve the world's problems
Are we
today, so
giving
let's
her name?
move on. You know,
Yeah.
and true enough, because we were there to speak about our own particular case,
That's
you
right,
know,
yeah.
and not even, you know, talking about all my humiliation and depression and everything they put me through, and not only that, but I can't even have any more children, you know, and the ones that were taken, you know, I can't have them back, I can't have more, I can't have kids in my life because of a false allegation, and not only that, but what they've done to Alvin. You know, say they've made so many false allegations about him. He doesn't even have kids. He didn't even know my kids, you know, and now he's got, you know, a file on him with the Ministry of Children and Families just because he's my husband.
He supported you.
But yeah, because he
And
supported
it's not
me.
just MCFD. MCFD works closely with the RCMP,
Oh, yeah.
which means no matter where you are in Canada, they've got you tagged.
And you've lost all your credibility, you know. If you run into something happening and the police get involved and they know you because of the Ministry of Children and Families, good luck getting them to believe you about anything,
Yeah.
you know?
So,
especially the time that the fire department showed up at your ex-husband's place, because
Oh.
the children had lit a fire and propane tanks started.
8 or 9 propane tanks blew up because the 9-year-old was home alone and wanted to have a fire. You know?
But because the
nothing got
ministry's
done,
on
and
their
the ministry-
side,
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
nothing ever
Or
happens.
what about the time one of the kids shot the other kid in the eye with a pellet gun? Well, it was just a pellet gun. Excuse me? Just a pellet gun? It shot him right here. So any lower and he would have lost his sight. Thanks a lot, because that wasn't their kid, so it was just a pellet
if
gun.
you sit down at family court and listen to some of the excuses that for
Oh.
them taking the kids, and then you sit and look at cases where the ministry sided with whomever, or what the foster parents get away with, and we shouldn't even call them foster parents, the
Foster
people
guardians.
whose business it is to look after kids and have the kids do all their housework for them,
And those of
look
you who
after
are
the
the
other
exception
kids.
to the rule,
Sorry about that.
that.
Yeah.
But you know, we're not
There's
here
lots of good
supporting.
foster parents.
We're
Well,
not doing these
but
maybe
videos
there's
to
for you.
support you. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, so now that we've tried to get across to, you know, how depressing and why, because we've talked in other videos, or you have, about, you know, people who go to drugs and alcohol, and now maybe people can have a little inkling of why
You'd be
that
drinking
happens.
too if you were, you know, spending your every single waking moment so anxious.
People lose their
The
jobs.
nightmares.
Most people lose their jobs and they start drinking. Imagine losing your kids. Imagine being accused of the most horrendous crimes in open court, and not being able
And the
to
whole
disprove any, because in
community knows
family
about
court, there is no innocent until proven guilty. It's you're fucked. And that's it, because they go, this is the way it is, and the judge just believes them, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you can't disprove it. We know family after family that have proved everything they said was a lie, and the judge still sides with the ministry.
Yeah,
There's
and
no
you know-
way to win.
You know, and we say it's a nightmare, but I mean, every morning, Colleen and I, we wake up around 5 o'clock in the morning, and we have a cup of coffee before we start our day, and usually it's discussing Colleen's nightmare. you
My
know?
nightmares, you know, like sometimes I dream that, you know, I'll never see one of the children again. I've dreamt that I died and didn't get to see the children ever again, or that I went to see the children but that they snubbed me off and wouldn't talk to me, and I walked away crying, and I wake up crying. I wake up hyperventilating. Sometimes Alvin will wake me up and say, Colleen, what's wrong, you know, because I'll be already crying and I'm not even awake.
I go through
You know,
the same thing. I
and
wake up crying and I
Yeah,
And-
and sometimes...
devastated.
In our
sometimes-
case,
worried and
we have to
concerned.
every day wake up and go, why are we even bothering to live? And the answer is always the same. On the remote possibility
Yeah,
that
exactly.
somewhere inside our children, they might resist all the brainwashing by the ministry psychologist.
Or in my
and
case, the other
maybe one
family.
day they'll come back to us and maybe. And that we should be there just on the off chance that maybe. And that's the only reason to live anymore.